So, of course, I do my own videos, and I, of course, have a kind of tournament bracket on challenge.com, and already I have chosen AndyDavo to take this one, only because, again, he is one of the hottest coaches in Blood Bowl, and I have to say that how can I go against something like that, right? I mean, also, it's an Amazon team. Both teams are going to be trying so hard to hit each other, but in the end, nobody will tackle. We're not going to see too many bodies down on the floor, I don't think. And I think in the end, it's going to break down to armor value 7, whether it'll be broken or not, and armor 8 for the Dark Elves. I think they'll be able to do just a little bit better. What about you, Zunk?
Well, it is a bunch of girls playing a bunch of elves, so I'm thinking handbags at 10 paces is my first thought. There's not going to be a lot of blood, is there? It's all going to be, oh, she slapped me. The Zons with the mass dodge, are the elves just going to push them around and the Zons be difficult to do anything about? But then the Zons repositioning is going to be on the back of Agility 3, obviously, whereas the Dark Elves are a proper Agility team. So I think Andy will be looking to use his tried and tested method of surfing rather than straight out casualtying to get numerical superiority. I think we'll see that. I'm not sure how TYS is going to set up when defending. I think Andy will find a way around it.
Are you watching the stream or are you watching in the client? Curious.
Oh, I'm watching Cabal Vision, mate. I've got a subscription.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Okay,
in
great.
HD.
Let me get that going because otherwise I'll be behind on what you say and then... Right. There we go.
Yeah. So no tackle for either team. Andy, of course, has got 1, 2, 3 dodge players, or blitzers. The Zons, of course, all have dodge, obviously. Interestingly, the first thing that jumps out, as Andy mentioned earlier, is that TYS has taken guard on three Zons, which does mean if it goes toe-to-toe, definite edge there.
Yeah, but that's what the Amazon's going to do, right? They're going to get a whole bunch of guard and try to beat you in front line, make it to where you hit their blodge players, and they just kind of bounce off. You just only get pushes and all that, right? But of course, the Dark Elves, sure, they can get into a fight, but they can also not get into a fight, right? I mean, Agility 4 also means that you could just disengage from the front line a little bit easier than the Amazons, especially if the Dark Elves use their blodge pieces perhaps in the front line, or if they put their Witch Elves in a position to where, sure, they have armor value 7 as well, but I mean, it's just they will have that dodge inherent, and they won't get hit down as easily. So I think we're going to see here the Dark Elves line up with the blodge players in the front, so that not only do they hit in here because they're on offense, but also if something happens, then not a big deal. They could dodge back 1 in 36 of anything going wrong instead of Amazon team where 1 in 9. That's the difference here today. I mean, this just everything on paper a little bit better for the Dark Elves. And I'm not trying to say that the Amazon team has no chance whatsoever, because obviously they do, but it's just that the Dark Elves, they don't need to get into a bash fight. They can just disengage and just pummel the Amazons whenever need be. I think the difference, of course, is the Amazon team having the Mighty Blow blitzer in the backfield there in the back left, but otherwise, I mean, it's just a little bit better for Andy right now.
I think that's a big concern for Andy. He'll be looking at Queenie the blitzer and don't like the look of her very much. He doesn't have a dirty elf, so he will be knocking himself out to surf Zons to get the numerical advantage. I also expect he'll be doing a lot of feint one way and then reposition the other screen and go and score. And I'd expect Andy to not dilly-dally. He'll be going full Inarian, is my supposition. I may be wrong. but that's my expectation.
Well, I think if I was in Andy's place here, I'm playing the Dark Elves, and if I was in his place, I think I would try to take down some of these guys. I don't know if I'd go full Anarian, but I would probably just wait it out a few rounds and then probably score it maybe around 4, maybe 5 if need be, and then just make it to where I have at least an injury or so, a KO or something like that, so that in the ensuing defensive try in the end of the first half, then I'll be able to get the ball back in due time and then be able to turn it back the other way. See right there, armor 7. You know, it's got to hold up for the Amazon team. Otherwise, either Andy will hold it to the end of the first round or will score it somewhat early. I don't think in 2 turns, but, you know, of course, I don't know what the game plan is going to be right now. And luckily, he's put the Blodge Blitzers in the front line because look at all those buff downs. Oh, boy.
I mean, Andy might get lucky and just armor 7 might implode you, right?
I mean, it may happen to where Andy's thinking about getting that quickie score, but I just don't see that with armor 7. And you know, you want to try to break the armor of the other team before you get the score, and that's kind of how that strategy really works out extremely well. Is you get those hits in, get the KOs, get the injuries, go up just 1, maybe 2 guys. That's going to be nice, but you got to remember too that every kickoff will slightly favor the Amazon team because they have that slightly higher fan factor. So you got to remember too that you don't want to end up giving Amazons too much by the end of the first half or even the second half, which is even worse.
I take your point. The fan factor is a thing. Andy, of course, sitting on 2 rerolls as well, which is something of a concern.
Yes, indeed. Here, am I too loud? Maybe I'll turn down my mic, guys, if I'm too loud.
Andrea Cass has a question in chat. VGP. I'll let you answer that one.
Sure. What is it? I didn't catch it.
Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I see it. Oh, if Andy wins this one, is he going to play Jimmy F? Well, it appears that you weren't following the World Cup, have you? I don't want to spoil things just in case people haven't seen it. So I'll just message you, Andrea.
I think at this stage, I'd recommend watching VGP World Cup Roundup on YouTube for the full breakdown of how it all went. Would you care to drop your link into the channel, Old Bean?
Okay.
Please, by the way, promote the living daylights out of your YouTubes and Twitch show intermittently throughout the course.
Okay.
Of proceedings tonight.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I'm so quiet. I swear Andy's computer has reached a certain level of sentience that it just does stuff without his intent.
I think
Every time he turns it off, he turns it back on, and all the settings are different.
I think in comparison to me, I'm probably really loud. So I'm trying to find my microphone here for the voice chat first.
Lola's is asking how's the crowdfunding for Dirty Secret coming along. Well, Ramaset's been working night and day over in Hollywood. We're very optimistic that principal photography is going to be beginning before Christmas.
Check. Okay. I think that's better. I don't know.
Testing. Can you hear me?
That's how the pros do it, guys.
Andrea Cass says, can someone explain to him how's the human team so good at facing Wood Elves in this World Cup?
I think the Wood Elves have just been failing. You know?
Yeah. Well, bear in mind that there is also a general truism that in this kind of format where you've got limited team value, humans do tend to perform quite well because they're a rounded team that are very TV efficient, that you don't need to throw too many skills on them before they start to operate fairly well.
Yeah, wood elves would need just a couple of extra skills to kind of catch up to the humans because it's kind of it's kind of like a boomerang, right? I mean, you throw them and then they'll come around at you and then it'll smack you in the face if you're not looking, right? So if the wood elf does make it to the quarterfinals, semifinals, then they will have the proper skills to really be able to take them on because by the end it'll be what 12 skills versus 10 skills of tier 2 versus tier 1 respectively, and just 2 skills off for a tier 1 team to a tier 2, and the the wood elves will definitely fly off the shelf after that. I mean, it'll be hard for the human team to stop. I'm sure they'll have a bunch of guard, but I think the biggest thing though is that the wood elf team is unable to have an extra bench to kind of recover from like KOs and injuries, and so if that happens or if once happens, then it's kind of a twofold risk. So if either of those things happen, then they'll be SOL, right? I mean, they're gonna be up the creek without the paddle. So that's two things that they have to hope that Nuffle doesn't get them in before that all those skills come in to kind of mitigate those losses. So right there is just why the human teams are at the beginning beating up on these wood elf teams.
Yeah, and I think also once a human team has got just a smattering of skills, you know, a tackle mighty blow blitzer, it's not unusual to see one of those in this format, and they can really mess up the elven team. That particularly the wood elves massively rely on the 2 war dancers to get all the heavy lifting, and all the line elves are pretty much there as just making up the numbers.
And right there, I just posted the challenge brackets, but it's only updated to when I cast the games, and so right now I am way behind on casting a lot of the games. So after this, I'm actually going to be pumping them all out. So
Gosh.
I'll be working quite overtime today.
So, which is your favourite member of One Direction, by the way, VGP?
I honestly don't know anything about them. I just know that they're a boy band, and that's it. And I think they play one song that I like, and that's it. But knowing one song isn't good.
As many as that.
I'll man up. I like one of their songs, but other than that, that's about it.
I guess we better have a little chat about the game. That's ostensibly what we're here for.
Oh, right, the game.
No, my fault entirely. My fault entirely. I keep asking unrelated things about One Direction and other pressing issues. So, first round of blocking for Andy. 1 knockdown. Not going to be thrilled with that, is he? It's all a little bit pushy, shovey at the moment.
Yep, that's how a lot of these high-level games are going to be, especially in the first few rounds. They don't want to commit. They just want to play shadow boxing, as always. In the first few rounds, of course, we could talk about anything really, Zunk, because this is how it's going to be for at least the first 4 rounds, or until somebody decides, oh, you know what, I want to get aggressive and I want to try to get to the ball, or will Andy just decide, you know what, I'm going to take this game right to the faces of the Amazon team and try to punch their faces. But of course, as you've noted before, Amazon with that guard, I don't think the Dark Elves will engage with them anytime soon until the Amazons do it. And oh, it looks like right there, Amazons, they're saying, okay, we've had quite enough. We're going to go in there and likely to try to get something going. Maybe the blitz on the right side or against the Witch Elf, then come in to maybe touch the ball carrier or something. But
it is kicking off a bit. The girls are getting a bit feisty, aren't they?
They sure are.
Basing up. See, thing is, is this what Andy's seeking? Sound in the knowledge that he'll probably survive a round of blocks from the Amazons. There's only really one danger player, and once they're committed, then he's got a whole world of agility 3 dodgers to uncommit them.
I think that's the thing, right? So the Amazons, when they do make this move right here, they need to make sure that they either push away the Dark Elves or at least take them down. And so far, the only block that they've had so far has worked out, has taken them down. And then here comes the Blitz. Looks like it's just going to go in down the center. Not going to try to take down the Witch Elf whatsoever, but it's going to take down that line there, that line elf there, and then just make it known that they're there. But that is actually a good spot, though, because that line elf there in the middle is a little bit isolated, and it's going to be very hard for the Dark Elves to kind of come and save him unless he does a 3+2+ dodge away, which of course we've seen Andy do plenty of times. But I mean,
well, Necropotent raises a very good point that without tackle, the Zons are quite hard to put on the floor, which brings us back to my original speculation. I think Andy will be looking to surf. It would be constantly asking himself what's on here. Now, what I do like from TYS is that he's got two of the guard girls over on Andy's right flank there. So any surf shenanigans Andy's contemplating, he has to navigate round that. So there's nothing really obvious jumping out at the moment.
Yeah, which is kind of why I'm a little bit curious to see that the Amazons didn't blitz that Witch Elf on the far right and then just keep everyone together like this so that the surf wouldn't come out as easily. So I mean, there may be a good try for it, but as you said, I don't think. I mean, he's gonna try for the surf no matter what. I think any good coach will definitely look for the surf, but as I've said before, the Dark Elves, they're not gonna push it. I just don't see that happening. I think they really want to try to take advantage of Armor 7 and Amazons, right? I mean, try to take care of their biggest weakness, which is their Armor 7.
A lot of the crowd are calling me out for saying, breaking news and stop press, Andy seeks surf. Gentlemen, and potentially lady, I don't know if Sarah's here yet. Sarah, are you here? Anyway, I think Andy will be looking to surf more, even can it be true, even more than usual, because of what we were talking about before, that he'll find it quite difficult to knock the Zons over. And so getting them off into the crowd is his best bet of actually getting any numerical advantage. Though what you mentioned, sorry, Super, apologies.
Yes, the Amazons do have a bench there. Two on the right there, Rex. Apologize, go ahead.
Sorry, I momentarily got distracted thinking, where's Andy going? So what's he doing here? He's withdrawing, somewhat repositioning. I guess. Why?
And as I said, right, Dark Elves, if they score early, it will be in the middle of the rounds and not necessarily in the early rounds. And also, look, as you can see here, look how easily the Dark Elves have disengaged there. Amazons were looking to fight, try to take advantage of their guard, but in the end, Andy could just easily sidestep it, use their use the dodge pieces for the 1 in 36s, and then later on do the 1 in 6s with the other Dark Elf lineman. And as you can see there, when he does disengage with the other elves, not a big deal. It's going to be at the far top right. Maybe they'll be able to collapse in, but should be able to put a screen in before that all happens. And look at that. As you can see there, he's cleared away the middle Dark Elf so they could dodge away so much easier. And then the only trouble is going to be that 3+2+ dodge for that lineman.
With Lord Percy, curious name for a girl, that. And
I feel like I'm just twitching when I'm Lord Percy.
Right. And I see. Sorry, I've just clocked TYS's naming convention. Lord Percy and Blackadder, the two guard Zons over on the right flank there. They're actually now can get halfway across the pitch and a little bit more, but they certainly can't get over the left flank. So is Andy just dragging them one side and then switching, going, aha, your movement 6? Is it too early for that? Is that really?
I mean, at this time, it's not necessarily about that. Like, sure, it is. It is kind of a bit like that, but at the same time, it's just all about disengaging, and disengaging to a safer spot. As you can see there, he's gonna do the tough dodges. Oh, he's actually gonna miss the easier of the two. But right there, as you can see, he's a little bit out of the range for the Amazon team. And sure, they may be able to get 1 or 2 Amazons in the backfield, but I don't think it's going to be any real threat without actually doing some type of rolls himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so the Amazons will just be able to touch the ball carrier, but I don't think anything else past that.
Slight worrying moment as Don't Mention YouTube goes down with a mighty blow hit, but Queenie didn't put her back into that one. Don't Mention YouTube is fine. Super thinks Andy's getting tilted. Is he? He's alright, as far as we can tell.
The only league that I'm playing in is the SFL, Shawnee's League, and I don't know if I'll be able to finish it out. I'm just so busy. Like, I've bitten off a bit more than I could chew. I'm running Shadowrun. I'm playing board games. I'm working full time, and of course, I gotta keep the woman happy as well. So I mean, it's just I don't know if I have time to actually continue playing, but yeah, I do play. I've been playing for quite a bit actually.
VGP, major development. Lalithor, the elf, has managed a passive removal. And Redbeard, gosh, that's an unfortunate. She had to go through school with that. That must have been awful for her. So Redbeard sent off. So we're now down to 12 Zons the rest of the game. So Lalithor doing it. I can't keep doing that voice.
I'm wondering what you're doing. What is that? What's that? What is that?
Well, this came from Andy's High Elf team in Coca-Cola.
Ah.
It's possibly one of the worst named teams ever. That he made them in a hurry and didn't name them as we usually do after viewers on the show. And one of the elves was Lolithor. And Andy was trying to say, these are great elven names. What really? Lolithor.
You know what you should do? You should record it perfectly, and then whenever you need to say it, then it's already on the recording. Not a problem.
I need a soundboard, don't I?
Yeah, a sound bite. That's what you need. That's really great. And honestly, the Amazons doing that, that's actually quite perfect. I mean, sure, it was a removal, but at the same time, they need to make sure that their bench is being used. And at the moment, Dark Elves are not going to be punching them anytime soon. And I think they got to feel good about getting that foul in and trying to at least get a removal themselves. But unfortunately, it kind of backfires, get 1 and 8. But I think that's the proper way to go, to be honest, is to try to get those fouls in. But I think would have loved to get it more on the Witch Elves instead, especially the one with Wrestle, but still. I mean, I definitely can't blame him for that bit of strategy right here. Maybe save it for a little bit later on, or maybe earlier when they had that 2-die hit on the Witch Elf, then maybe try to get the foul in then, but again, this is one of those things where I like the strategy, but unfortunately it's not working at the moment.
I do notice Tiss is being awfully mindful of the am I going to get surfed. You can see the way that he set up the end of this turn. No real opportunities for Andy to get round the back, Multi-Vicar, as it were, and do any damage there. So big thumbs up for Tiss that he's seen Davo play before and knows what to look out for.
Indeed. Actually, yeah, the Amazon team put it to where it's not going to be so easy for them to make it around the left side. But at the same time, again, I mean, Dark Elves are like, meh, alright, that's fine. I'll just, blitz your girl right there in the front line. None of my Dark Elves need to be disengaged. And, again, it's just going to be happy holding the ball for a little bit. I mean, Dark Elves are not in any hurry to move the ball anytime soon. And the more I kind of feel this game out, and I really use my emotions, it's much like a Jedi does, and I just kind of feel the board, and right now it's just the Dark Elves can just make this touchdown whenever they feel like it, I feel like.
Pretty much as you predicted, that's what Andy seems to be doing, is protecting the ball and just popping over the odd Amazon in the hope that Armor 7 lets him down.
It's like I play Blood Bowl, guys, right?
I just thought you had mystic powers of foresight,
Mystic powers
but
of
okay,
foresight?
you're putting it down to experience. Fair enough.
Experience. Oh, right. Yes. I'll take the mystical powers any day of the week. It's the from Batman to Jedi. We approve. Okay, Necropotence.
Hold on, McNaughton's saying I'm wise, old and old, and you're young and hold on. We're not that far apart in age, are we?
Andy is Princess Leia. I love that.
Well, he does have the headphones for it. Have you seen Andy's stormtrooper on his day off get up?
I have not. Unfortunately, I only get to really catch you guys on the weekend, but then that's when I begin to stream. So I may watch you guys for maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes and just have you on the background when I'm working. But other than that,
He's got his black and white. I can't remember what they are. Watch it headphones and white T-shirt, and he just looks like he's mess deck 27 on the Death Star, not on shift for another 6 hours, just chilling with his homies,
So now the missed Amazon dodge, and that's the difference, right? The Dark Elves and the Amazons, right? I mean, sure, the Dark Elves also missed their dodge, but Amazons, if they miss their dodge, Armor 7 again comes to roost, right? I mean, it's just like, hey, Armor 7, Armor 8, the difference being stuns. I mean, it's just.
Well, also when you're running in heels, eventually
heels.
Someone's going to turn an ankle when they fall over, aren't they? It's inevitable.
Are they wearing heels? Let me see that.
I like to think so.
I'm going close up here.
Oh, don't let the facts get in the way of a nice and argue.
I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Again, and even though the Dark Elves are just kind of doing their thing, just going left, going right, it's just right now it's Amazons. Dark Elves are just looking a tad better.
Hello, where's Chester Wallet going? Now, Andy's positioning old Chester up there to make the Zons react. They're going to have to go and mark him up. So you're looking at two Zons back to get in the way of Chester. Mm-hmm. I like that, splitting them up a bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing about a lot of Elven teams as well, and I feel like they don't utilize that enough, is that you go out on the fly with the blitzer right there, and you just make it to where the defense not only has to spread out and guard them, but you can't feasibly or easily guard them with just one person. You have to almost go out there with two, and then that lowers the amount of people on the line, and then it gives you the little bit of the numbers advantage in the front line, and the Elves don't have easy access to the guard ability, and so they don't normally be able to punch so easily, but because they're spread out, because they have to put two on both the receivers, they end up getting punched by the Elven teams because of that. So I like what Andy's doing here. Again, just utilizing the Elves to the maximum efficiency. I mean, that's why again, I have to vote for not just Andy, but the Dark Elves here to win, because they have so many good offensive weapons, and you keep them off kilter here and just make it to where it's just an uncomfortable game for the Amazon team to defend against. And this is not an easy game for them to defend here. I mean, what can the Amazons do at this point but try to put screens up, which when I see that as a Elven team, like as when I do play Dark Elves or even the Skaven team, I'm just like, I don't care about that. I see screens and I can get around that easily,
When you are playing against a team of women, them putting screens up or curtains and scatter cushions, it's to be expected. But then I think the Elves appreciate that too, and Lothar's a big fan of soft furnishings as well, I think.
Yeah, and of course Elves really make a lot of use of the screening. We've seen that in the first game against Bernie Buffin with AndyDavo, where he was able to, and of course Bernie gave him a huge hole to let him do this with. but he was able to split the defense, or actually his offense, and after that, just was able to slowly push. That was such a beautiful game in the terms of how the Dark Elves were able to just get there and then just push until the humans just could not could not do much about it. I mean, that was, I mean, like, wow. I mean, you just don't see that every day, especially in Blood Bowl.
The first half of that game, that was good. I take the mick out of Davo on the show all the time. I mean, you know, it's part of the shtick. But I rang him afterwards and said, I've just watched a replay of that. Despite wanting to tell you that you generally are hopeless and terrible, that was a bloody good game of Blood Bowl. He first half he was on fire, and I mean, Bernie knows what he's doing. He wasn't, you know, a new coach who was just rolling over making dumb mistakes. It was basically he didn't have any better options. The only bit, with hindsight, you see Bernie play is that he left some of his players on the scrimmage up with the ogre. When, with hindsight, I hasten to add, should have run more guys back to protect the ball. When he just had, I think he just had 2 plus the ball carrier, didn't he?
Yeah, obviously the biggest reason why he didn't do that was, look, I don't want to make any rolls if I don't have to. But of course, if he had seen the position in, you know, 2-3 more turns, he would have jumped away from the line. But at that time, at that moment, in the early bits of the game, it was just like, oh, you know, he might be able to recover. Oh, he may be able to, you know, squirm himself out of it. I mean, we've seen this many times before as Blood Bowl coaches where, you know, they're flooding the backfield and then you have to worry a little bit with your ball carrier, but not a problem normally. You just get by it, and then you get to the front line, and you're able to cage up again. But right there, I think Bernie just kind of underestimated the severity of how much he was screened out. And yeah, after that first bits where he had a moment in which he probably should have just dodged away. Again, I can't blame him. You know, no dodge for your guys in the front line, and why do all these rolls when you don't necessarily have to?
Hey, look, I wouldn't have done anything different. You know, I think it was instinctively, it's what you lean towards, and I can't overstate it. It's with the benefit of hindsight, we can go, aha. You know, but
Yeah.
at that time, I'd say the majority of you, me, and the folks watching, the majority would have probably done something along similar lines. Oh, hello, incoming foul, and old Nandos
There
is
you go.
knacked.
There you go.
Clear.
That's what I was talking about right there. The witch elf here, the foul. That's what the Amazons were really looking to do, and is going to get it. And that's key right there. Just do it on the witch elf whenever possible.
Knocked out. Will she come back?
That's going to be the $1 million question, and again, it's going to be on the wrestle witch elf. So that was the prime foul target for the Amazon team. But as I was saying before, though, you know, the human team for Bernie, it was just, yeah. When I was watching the replay, I never once in the beginning said, oh boy, Bernie needs to dodge away right now, otherwise he's going to be in trouble. I never said that. I said, oh, look at this. This is going to be, you know, a nice little aggressive play from Andy. Let's see if it works out. And it totally did. And it was just like, oh boy. I didn't understand the severity until I saw it myself. So yeah, nothing on Bernie, but it was just a beautiful game. I mean, like, that was just what Go players say. Like, you know, that was, you know, the God hand play. I feel like, I mean, the God game.
But then when you come across the you know the absolute top drawer coaches, the ones nestled amongst the Pringles and Doritos in the top drawer, they can so often. It's a bit like having a terrible woodworm in your house. You know, you first get an inkling that something's wrong, but it's only really as the fullness of time passes that you realise how catastrophic it actually is, and suddenly you find yourself standing in a pile of rubble, going, "Where did it all go wrong? It seemed fine."
Yeah, I mean, that's precisely what happened to Bernie. And boy, I mean, again, it's just, I mean, that's AndyDavo right there. I mean, it's just one of those things where he just looking so good there, and one of the hottest coaches in Blood Bowl. Wow, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean,
is it because he's tall? Is that what you find appealing?
I think he tower overs the other player, and he wants to slam dunk over them, and he just jumps up from the table. He's like, yeah, take that, and you know, he's this towering figure, and then you just, you know, slunk down. You know, I'm only 5'6" myself, so he could definitely dunk over me.
Well, Big Mac McNaughton, El Duderino, and I joined the boy Davo for a curry on Friday night, and we were just walking between the pub and the curry joint. And it really hammered it home for me just how freakishly tall Davo is. I mean, you turn to talk to him, and you're just looking right up his nose. And that, we aren't short. We're kind of average, 5'10", 5'11". He's just enormous. And I think it's that height that, certainly at tabletop, just freaks his opponents out. They go, "Dear God, what is that thing?" And then suddenly it's 2-0 and it's all over.
Yeah. So on behalf of AndyDavo, thank you for that for that subscription there, Wormthrax, and thank you. Yes, the World Cup is going extraordinarily well. So thank you on behalf of Andy for that subscription.
Wormthrax, 8 months on the spin. I was getting around to it, I promise. Yeah, he's about 8 foot, isn't it? It's about that. I mean, he might be 7'10". I don't know. I don't know exaggerate, but it's about that. I did before I actually met Andy and just knew him through the gift of Ventrilo. We were pals on Facebook, and he'd not got many pictures on there. And his profile picture was taken from a very, very long way away when he was wearing a black tie dinner suit, and he looked like a really little fella. But it was that thing about the difference between small and far away. It was that when it actually opened the front door and just saw the bottom half of it, then craned my neck. It was like, dear God, wasn't expecting that.
So here comes
he drives a gentleman's executive motor car, and he unfolds to get out of it.
He's like a basketball player coming out from his big ride.
Basically, yeah.
And look at that, the Dark Elves finally making the move in the 6th round. Again, I mean, like, look how almost easily, and it's nothing to do with, TYS's skill or anything like that. It's just the defense of the Amazons. I mean, how can they withstand the onslaught of the high-powered offense of any Elven team, really? I mean, look at that, just able to dodge away, use the blotch players to the maximum efficiency, and make it to where a huge screen is up. He's guaranteed the touchdown at this point, unless the Amazons want to play with fire, and hope that Nuffle provides something.
I think it's inevitable that they can't really stop the scores. So Tis is quite reasonably going, right, let me see if I can get some numerical advantage for the next drive. But see how we were talking mere moments ago about the Zons are quite spread out. It's a nice robust line there. And suddenly all the Elves are on the other side of the Zons. It just sort of happens by itself, doesn't it?
That's the Elves right there. That's just Elves. And Amazons are, I mean, yeah, they come with dodge, but it makes it slightly easier for them to dodge away from the line and disengage, but it doesn't make it extremely easy for them to do so. And that's kind of what we have here. The Elves continues to put the screens up and just disengages from any place where the Amazon team might want to fight in, and there's not much they can do.
Well, Fatten's quite right that the Elves do generically play like this unless they roll ones, and with enough dodge and a re-roll in the bank, Andy's fairly confident about doing what he's doing. But you're right, Fatten. That could go horribly tits up at any stage. But then that's true of anything in Blood Bowl, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, obviously, when you're playing the Elves, you can't be afraid to do these 2+s too much. Normally, it's going to work out. But, of course, I have played Elven teams. Of course, Dark Elves being my most favorite race to play. I mean, you can't be afraid of them. If it happens, 1 in 36s, it happens. And, similar to how Spartaco fell, I mean, you can't beat yourself up. You played your game. I mean, you're going to lose from the ones, but you can't beat yourself over it.
See, there you go. If you're going to wear your Jimmy Choos to play Blood Bowl, you're going to turn your ankle and end up on your ass. We did warn her that she was going for style over substance, and now look what's happened.
Yeah. So at this point, Andy's really thinking about getting this touchdown. He's thinking, boy, should I just do the GFI?
You know what, though? I'm just throwing this out there. Do you see where Nursey, the Zon Blitzer, is on the left flank there? I'll just leave you to ponder what Nursey's doing right now.
Let's see here. I don't have the names up here.
Nursey on the left flank. What immediate peril does Nursey face? What very real and present danger is she now
Oh
in?
no! Is that what he's thinking?
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Why simply score when you can make Nursey go and get your hot dog and then score to celebrate? And we've just missed something. Legion, 7 months in a row. Goodness me, thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated.
Oh, the Dark Elves, are they going to...
I think he's going to secure the ball.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to...
consider the serve. Yep. Yep, it's happening. Oh, it's happening. Or is it? No, it's not. It's not. Andy is actually playing...
No, he needs to play the ball. The way that he had positioned the ball, he needed those guys to screen it off. So once he moved the ball up like that, I didn't think he was going to go for the serve.
I must admit, I was already preparing my my mitigation pitch for why did Davo do that? What a balloon! Just in case he did, but thankfully, no. Common sense got the better of him, and he didn't go for the serve. You don't often say that, do you?
Yeah, if he would have went for it, then it would have been loads of dodges to get through, and he didn't want to do the dodges. I mean, it's again one of those things where in Blood Bowl you want to not make as many rolls as possible, and right there he's going to just continue to play it strong and solid.
I'm looking at the northeast corner of the cage there where the runner's running Vanguard. That for me is possibly Tiss's next weak spot to go for.
Yeah, and as you can see on the pitch itself, Andy is already thinking with the Witch Elf, like, I'm going to put my Witch Elf right there. There you go, see?
Yep. There we go. That's done it.
What's that?
Terrace said asks, is it worth taking a double on his second Blitzer as his first level up if the other one is POM already?
So the second level up is going to be a general normal skill. And so, what was the question again?
No, he's got a double.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about Andy's game. He's talking about his own. Hey, look, we're talking about the game here. How about a little? Second Blitzer, double.
Forget jump up, man. Dodge maybe.
I would take dodge.
Quite like as well.
I would take dodge.
Diving tackle's not bad. Dodge not bad. Anyway, sorry, Terrace. Normally we'd spend 20 minutes discussing this. We owe it to the World Cup viewers to really focus on this. Yeah. That's a good question, though. Thank you for asking it.
So the Amazons can kind of just put their people into place, but with no tackle. I mean, this is going to be... unless Nuffle jumps in there and says, hey, I don't want Andy to make this touchdown, then even though the Amazons are going to get quite a few touches on the ball carrier, I don't think it should be any real danger. Oh, look at that! Amazon actually went for it. Bit of an interesting move there. Wow.
I think it was a case of there was not a lot on. So in the absence of something concrete, then why not try something mad? You never know. Sometimes you just got to roll a hard 6, right? Right.
Well, 5+ on the Dodge reroll. So I mean, not too bad of a chance to actually make that. About a almost about a 50% chance to get that dodge in, and then afterwards get the blitz in. But I do believe that would have just been a 1-die blitz with no tackle. So I mean, you're kind of putting a lot and risking a lot by dodging in there for not much. I mean, a 1-die blitz. I mean, you get the 5+ dodge in there with the dodge, but almost a 45% chance, 50% chance, and then after that, the 1-die blitz and only a 1 in 6 chance to get it if you don't use your reroll. Oh well, let's say you do use your reroll, then it's 30%. I mean,
There was not, I don't think there was anything better on would be Tiss's motivation for that. He wouldn't have thought, this will work. It was a long shot.
there's nothing wrong with it, but then it would be such a different story if that injury or that armor break came out instead of just a stun. What if it was a KO? What if it was a injury, and now you are forced to pretty much blow your APO on your Mighty Blow and Blodge Blitzer, right? I mean, that's a pretty key piece right there.
Yeah, fair play.
I mean, you're risking quite a bit on, and then for something that is very low on the percentage, and let's say you do get the ball out, how are you going to follow up, right? I mean, where's the follow up? I mean, you still need to dodge through hell and high water just to get to the ball. I mean, you still need to. I mean, it's going to be 4+ dodges now just to try to break through, but you still got to do 4+ dodges to get to the ball, and the ball is still on your side of the territory, where the elves, well, don't forget, they got 4 agility. They can just pick it up 2+ and score it. Anyone can score it. So again, it's just, you have to weigh in all of these factors when you're doing this. Certainly, I understand, but this is not the end of the game, and you're putting a lot on the line just for that little maneuver, and that's, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the wrong move because nothing really happened, but at the same time, a bit too aggressive for my taste.
Yeah.
And now look, I mean, Amazons, they're going to bash the front line, and they want their Mighty Blow Blitzer for this.
Well, it's turned out okay for Tiss that she remains on the pitch, but yeah, you're right. It's coulda, woulda.
It could have went quite badly, and you're putting it all on. I don't even want to fathom. I mean, is there a? Let me get the Samba calculator out here. You know, like that was. Let's see the chances.
Less than 1 in 3 for me. I had to guess. I think though you made a good point just momentarily there that we've now got 3 basically defenseless little elves that are just going to get repeatedly slapped by Amazons. Tiss will be seriously hoping for some sort of removal here just to give him a bit of an edge. And so far, no bueno. Now, is he going to risk another gang foul just to get rid of a line elf?
So I've done it right here. The chances of that working out was almost 14%.
Oh wow! So way less than my guesstimate. Fine.
Yeah, I mean.
Hold on. The crowd hold its breath. What's happening here? Is it a gang foul? I think it might be.
Yeah. So 14%, and you're putting it all on the line. Your Mighty Blow Blitzer. I mean. Ooh.
Goodness me. Hashtag Freyover also learned passive removal skill. A second Zon, so we're now down to 11 Zons. The Dark Elves, of course, have been training for that. They've been practicing squealing in a high-pitched girly voice, going, ow, ow, look, she hurt me. And the referee lapped that one up straight off.
Indeed, as the Dark Elves go into the locker room, 1-0, we'll be happy for that because now the Amazons are down to no more bench. And
well, you saw as he got to his feet. Hashtag Frey over there. Little Cristiano Ronaldo wink as
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Got her marching orders.
Learning a little bit too much from real world football. But
shocking, yeah, it's really shocking.
But now Amazons are down to their non-bench, and sure they have 11 on the pitch, but Armor 7, Dark Elves.
Yeah, the Amazon bench, a cold, lonely, desolate place. It'll be like Sunblood.
Yeah, and we're starting to see why Dark Elves are a pretty strong pick for the World Cup if you can get by the first 2 games. Because now it's just like, okay, now I'm going to be able to get guard for my guys. Now I'm going the next skill after that, you know, I could what do you foreseeably think that Andy is going to choose for his next skill if he makes it past his Amazon team?
I think he'll look at the future draws, a potential path to the final, and then it'll be a trade-off between Mighty Blow, Guard, or Tackle. It depends what he's facing, potentially. should he get through these rounds. He'll look at that.
Let's see here. He is... Okay, yeah, I know he's facing off against, and so... Yeah. Mighty Blow is feasible.
Andy gone with the classic sailing boat setup there.
Let's see, who would I choose here? Tackle might be a good one.
And another talking point on the Dark Elf setup is we've got the offset line of scrimmage again, which Andy was using in the first game, and a few folks were asking about.
Nice. I actually like that a lot. You don't want to do it too much because opponents can kind of outfox you and just go, oh, if you're going to offset the line, then I'll do this. But you don't want to do that straight away because what you want to do is you're trying to place the Amazons in a spot where they will open up holes. And likely what they, whenever you're on offense, right, you want to...
Good God, man. Think about what you're saying. It's a family show. Dear me. I think we got away with that one.
I think so. They want to pop the line of the line of scrimmage there. I think that's...
You suddenly realised what you said. Dear me. Oh God.
I think it's an American thing.
Sorry, Nethios. Sorry. Didn't mean it.
This is I guess it's an American thing, or an English thing. Anyways, they really want to take the heads off of the line of scrimmage.
More tea, Vicar.
Oh boy, and the blitz on defense. That's horrible for the Amazon team because anytime you're facing off against an agility team with high movement allowance, then you may be in for a time here.
Hang on a sec. I've got basically a Celtic sandboard in the background. Mark, what do you call this? Aye, bots. Right, now then, where's the kit gone? Not super deep. The Sons will be quite happy there. She doesn't have to go too far in those heels to go and get it, so she'll be quite happy with that. Prince Ludwig.
That's really great for the Amazon team because if the Dark Elves manage to flood the back line, as they probably should, then the ball's not too far away from their ball carrier. But unfortunately, they did do a very bashy lineup, and if the Dark Elves do this, they may actually be able to perhaps split the Amazon team.
Oh God, it's happening again. Sorry, viewers. He didn't mean it that way. So, we're looking at Bob the Line Woman. Is gonna take one here, and then Andy try and dodge through the gap. I would guess. Is he gonna try that? Do we think? What do you reckon?
What? Oh yeah, I think
dodge through the gap. And, I mean, he's got to roll the 2+ to get everybody through.
I think if anything, you put the surround on the front line anyways. But I mean, look at that right there. He's putting the blitzer on the left side, so he's kind of signaling that he does not want to. I think he's just probably going to put 1 or 2 people back there, but he's not going to overcommit. If he wanted to go after the ball, then he would have moved that blitzer into the backfield.
Now that we've seen where Helgen Eater of Rerolls has gone, yes, I think you are absolutely right that he's probably not going to try the super aggressive move. But yeah, I think it's now time to nullify the midfield somewhat. Though with the 3 guards-ons there all looking chomping at the bit, that's going to be difficult. And he can't just go toe-to-toe and go, right, you can't do anything. Those guys, the 3 sacrificial line elves, Vauxhall, Zafira, don't mention YouTube, and hashtag Freyeva, are probably going to get a smack.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about the Dark Elves at the moment. That's what he needs to think about at this point is, okay, my line of scrimmage elves are absolutely going to get wrecked by the Amazon front line. So he's kind of has to nullify this in some sort of way, right? I mean, Amazons can get the pickup, and then afterwards likely to either move the ball up and get the cage back up in the front line like that. But with the blitzer, with the Blige right in the face right there, I don't know if that does enough there, but to stop the caging in the middle.
Well, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3.
Looks
one,
like
two,
no.
three. There's probably enough Zons that they can form a cage, but here's one to chew on. The last nearest the ball does not have sure hands. What if she drops it? It'll be flashing across Andy's mind.
Well, if he gets 1 and 9 there, and that's precisely why the blitzer with the Blige is back there, because he's hoping for the 1 and 9 to come out and then scoop the ball up and run it in for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Tiss will be delighted with that removal at this stage.
If he doesn't get APO'd. And looks like nope. And as you can see there, Andy is actually with the blitzer, with the blitzing blitzer. He is still in range for the touchdown if there is going to be a ball failure. So, a ball pickup failure, I should say.
Baz, I'd love to devote 10 minutes to discussing your question there. That's a good question, a good point well made. I can't because we're talking about this, but I will say, well, he's a good-looking boy. Why not? Moving on. Now, with Guard Amazon going there.
Good point there. The reroll was used already, so it is now a 1 and 3. Thank you for that, FD.
See, although, despite not knocking over Crumpet Lord, the Zons have kind of taken care of him. They do have to now really run towards the east side as Andy looks at it. Well, no.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
And they immediately run west. Right again, as usual, Zunk. I was going to say, because the Witch Elf, the Blitzer, and the Line Elf over on Andy's left flank are ostensibly free to then themselves go and harry the ball.
Yep, so there's a one-die blitz around the back if Andy wants it.
Ooh. Hello. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Bob,
and
you didn't want to do that, Bob. You've let yourself down. You let the Amazons down.
So here's what Andy has to consider here. It's like, actually, it could be a 2-die. Yeah, it actually could be a 2-die right here. The on the right side, you open things up with a 2-die block, and then after that, you can flood in with your blitzer with the assist, and then dodge away with the Witch Elf even, and then get the 2-die. Wow, Andy's got loads of options here to get at least the 1-die, if not the 2-die blitz here on the ball carrier. Oh wow!
I think he'll go for 2-die using dodgers. I think we'll bring dodge blitzer from the right hand side. I wish we could have a pointer to show you what I'm talking about, folks. But you can see Helgen Eater of rerolls there. I fancy him or and Chester Wallet on the right flank orchestrating the 2-die blitz, and that still leaves Killjoy Bear, the runner, free to go and try and get the ball.
Yeah,
I think that's what he'll do.
This is just, oh boy. Eyes are wide as saucers, I'm sure, or either that or Andy's just smoking his pipe going, just another day in Blood Bowl. Wow, he's got so many options. He can even pick it up with the runner by the end of it, and then after that, this is just GG at this point. Amazon's got to be looking at his position going, oh no.
See, and it not getting overexcited here. A little bit of safe moves first with that elf coming into the center. So okay, we've got Chair setting up the assist. The blitz. I'm looking at Helgen Eater of rerolls here for me for the blitz.
Oh man, this is it here.
Oh, right.
No
again,
nufflings here.
Once again, right. Here comes the witch.
Here comes the witchy. I definitely would have done it with the witch myself.
Well, that's because I'm terrible at Blood Bowl. Who knew?
Yeah, and here's the choice. Andy could have pushed him into the blitzer, but was like, eh.
He'll reroll this.
Oh, he's gonna have to reroll that, and then there we go.
It's good enough. It's good enough.
beautiful. And hopefully the scatter, yes, the scatter is beautiful. The runner can pick it up so clean and clear. This is GG. I mean, if the runner picks it up, he's got dump off ability, and there's absolutely, wow, nothing you do. And the thing about the dump off ability, a lot of people don't realize is that the dump off ability, you can throw it on the ground if you need be. So like, even if Amazons decide, okay, I'm gonna cover all of his receivers, it doesn't matter. I'll just throw it onto the ground, and then the next turn, the Amazons may be overstretched, they can't get to the ball, and then next turn with elves, with 4 agility, again, I can get the score. I mean, it's just, it's so many options. And again, there's a 2-die block on the left side, right where the runner's at, right there, at the top left. So there's not even going to be any necessary to dodge away, to continue with the 2+ dodges. You can just go for all these blocks.
I'm looking at the right side here. I'm now thinking Helgen Eater rerolls is going to push away Lord Whiteadder, leaving Lalithor to come around and assist with this screen. And we've still got, as you point out, Vauxhall Zafira on the left flank who can come around the left flank side. Possibly, can he mark up?
Oh no! Oh
no! Crumpet Lord is actually injured.
Wow. Going for the 1 in 36s and is not going to get to the ball in time. Wow.
And
Apothecary, of course. Yeah. And that's a key piece right there. But I mean, I think the moment was just Andy cursing the dice right there. But I mean,
yeah, that was a bit unlucky though.
Oh wow.
The Zons have still got some work to do to get the ball back here. They can do it, but they've got to roll a bit of dice and not drop the ball.
Wow. Andy wanted to opt to get the ball up with the Blodge Blitzer instead of the runner. And I like that play as well, because then only a 30% chance with a 2-die block to get him down. But it's just, or a 2-die blitz to get him down. But it's just, you know, I think if he would have just picked it up with the runner, Well,
Jedi Alba's asking, did he have the movement to run around instead of the dodge? No, he was a dodge or a go for it, I think, from where he started.
Yeah.
And the dodge has got built-in dodge skill. So you're talking...
yeah, you would have. You definitely would have done it with the dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable. I mean...
Thanks, Rex. Rex
yes,
has just
Rex did say that the runner did have to do a GFI to get there, and then it's just 2 dodges with dodge for the Blodge Blitzer and without the GFI. So, same kind of difference, but I mean, like...
Well, without being partisan, I think Andy would have done the same thing again. I don't think it was a flawed plan. I think it was just unlucky that 3% reared its head. It was just shit happens.
Yeah.
I think it was probably the right thing to do.
It was definitely the right thing to do percentage-wise, but I feel like, you know, you pick it up with the runner, and the Amazon team has no chance for winning.
Well, be fair, it was better than what I was suggesting. So, you know. Now then, so the Zons are going to be picking up the ball with, what's she called? Prince Ludwig, and then just saying, right, bring it. Now, the fact that Chair is stood there next to the ball with guard, she's going to pick the ball up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then step backwards, I would guess. Probably northeast. It's a rock and a hard place, actually. Northwest, maybe. Neither options are brilliant.
So, of course, the Amazon team is still in, you know, big trouble. So, I mean, this is not... Even though Dark Elves probably should have iced the game right there, it's just Amazons are not out of the woods, and they can totally get lost in it. So, Dark Elves, if they continue to play aggressive here, then they may be able to get to the ball and still be able to get the touchdown. And at least it's going to be providing a, you know, a bit of a show for us, right? I mean, it's going to be a lot more of a scrum.
Oh, she's picked the ball up, Prince Ludwig. That was the big money move, and it worked. So great relief amongst the Amazons there.
Yep.
Are we going to see a foul on the witch? Was that dodge a precursor to a foul?
Maybe. But
Maybe.
I
Who
guess we'll
knows?
never
We'll
know.
never know.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know.
I think it was more of I want to contain this witch because she has wrestle, and of course Andy is not afraid to do 3+ or even 4+ dodges with her. So it's gonna be tough for Andy to use the witch, but Andy still has a tough 1-die blitz if he wants it.
If he's prepared to make a couple of go for it's with Chester Wallet, Chester could lend an assist around the west flank, and then you've got the 2-die blitz with Killjoy Bear.
Yeah, and that's my feeling too, Pedro. It's just right now it feels like he's failing the dodges, and that's another reason why I would have went for the GFI, because like you gotta feel the game, right? I mean, you just you know what I mean, like part of it is putting the percentages on your side, but yeah.
Don't let statistically disproven
Yeah, it's just
gut feel.
I mean, it's one of those things,
denied.
right? That's Blood Bowl right there, right? And that's the difference between like some players and other players, and I think that's probably why I'm not one of the best coaches ever in Blood Bowl. It's just like I just start having that feeling. And I just go, you know what? I'm not gonna make another dodge. I'm just gonna do GFI, which is like worse percentage-wise, but it's just, it just makes me feel better. You know
the tip fiction gave me for situations like this. It was like sometimes, man, you just gotta be the ball. And I think those are wise words. So, to summarise, we have a 2-die blitz on involving 2+ dodges and 3 GFIs for 2 dice.
I think you guys are analysing that too hard. I don't think we're going to see that, especially with just one more reroll left. So I think Andy is just going to contain the position. I mean, Andy is very much a positional coach, and as you can see there, it's just it makes it to where, look, the Amazons, they might be able to right the ship, but suddenly they have to turn up the pitch, and they only have 6 more turns to do it. With the Amazons gonna have a tough time getting through, but there we go. Yes, gonna do the 4+, 3+, 2+ dodge. Wow. Does he want to use his last reroll on this? That's what he's thinking.
The same thing himself. Does he want?
Does he want to do it? And he's just thinking about his positioning. And no, he doesn't want to do it. Look at that. I mean, the control on this.
I think Corn Knights nailed it. I think what made Andy go, nah, I'm just going to eat that, is that frenzy trap. That's 2 dice into 1 die into 2 uphill. So frenzy trap made him think, nah, it ain't worth it.
Yeah, I think that was the last straw. Like, okay, I'll get the 2 die, but yeah, it will be a frenzy trap going into the frenzy. So. And he would have used the reroll there. I think that was the thought, was when he did the Witch Elf Blitz, was, okay, I'll get the 2 die, but if it doesn't work out the first time around, then I'll use my reroll then.
Now that is quite worrying. We are starting to run out of elves.
A little bit.
Bit unfortunate there.
Didn't even need the Mighty Blow activation.
I'm glad he's muted, because right about now, he's not going to be very happy. You can understand that there's been the way that the attrition is befalling the Dark Elves is a little unfortunate. Okay, so the 2 Zons have got sent off on fouls. That is a big tick in the box. Happy, but to lose, we've had Killjoy Bear the runner casualty. We've Apo'd Crumpet Lord, and we've got Freyavers knocked out. 3 players down. This is going to be tricksy.
Yeah, and honestly, the runner going out is not a big deal, but the numbers, the attrition, that's the real worry. So if the Amazon does go into overtime period, they're going to have a bit of an advantage here going in. So Andy cannot let this Amazon team score at this point. Otherwise, they will be on the back foot. And not only that, again, the fan factor, right? I mean, every kickoff that is going to be done for this game is going to be slightly advantageous for the Amazon team.
Technically, the Zons do have Mighty Blow, but only one of these so far was down to that, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that runner getting hit that Mighty Blow didn't even activate.
Oh, hey, look, I'm desperately trying not to be an Andy apologist here. Obviously, you know where my loyalties lie, but the Armor 8 Dark Elves outnumbered by the Zons. There is some sort of could be going better, but no, you're right. There is Mighty Blow on the Zons team too. An Andy apologist, thank you, Thomas.
Andy has +1 fame. Does the Amazons have 4 fan factor, right? So isn't that enough for 2 fame? I'm not sure how the conversion works, so forgive me on that.
I just dodged the subject.
Thanks for the point out there, FD. I guess we just have to wait and see the either brilliant coaching or a fan fact or a cheering fans or something.
So I'm just thinking, right, what's he doing here? I think he's going to try and even up the numbers a smidge, which is not quite working.
Yeah, and I know that it's going into the game, and then it's all done there. But I don't know what the rules were, because Blood Bowl doesn't really show you what the.
What, you're saying that the coding would have made the interface a little clearer as to what?
Well,
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
It's just you get to roll all the stuff before the game, to see what you get, but you don't know until the kickoff happens and then you see it.
Community administrators in the world of modern gaming.
Yeah, I need to see the rules here again, guys. I mean, forgive me for that. I mean, I don't know what the fave is at the moment because I don't. All I can go on is the fan factor gave him a little extra boost in the beginning, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, that's enough to give the Amazons to perhaps a better roll. But of course, yeah, it's not just a roll in the beginning.
Come on, into that.
I don't know.
Oh, stun.
Oh, just a stun there. Hopefully Andy will be able to get some injuries off himself as this Amazon team is going to move the ball down the pitch, because he needs to make sure.
So what you're saying is that Andy's hoping to get some of these girls off, yeah? What?
Yes. I guess I am.
Well, let's hope that happens.
Oh boy.
It's on a knife edge right now, isn't it?
Now
Tis doing the right thing here. He's going after soft defenseless targets like Vixel Zafira. That's absolutely the right thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, and right here, now that the Dark Elves are down, 3 guys on the pitch, it's going to be tough playing defense. And I did say before that they kind of need to stop these girls from scoring it, but I don't even think the Dark Elves can, so this is likely going to go into overtime, and Andy is going to be a little bit on the back foot, depending on the fame factor, or the fame. I shouldn't say fame factor, the fame.
I'd stop talking about the fame. We're getting outwitted because the crowd know more about it than we do, mate.
Isn't it at the top left and right? Like on the apothecary and rerolls, right? Isn't it there?
Alright, to summarise, what happened is you're right. Queenie's advantage was factored into the 2d6 roll. However, behind the scenes, the 2d6 roll was enough in Andy's favour that he came out 1 ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah, although the inherent superiority of the Amazons' fame was a factor, that's now done, and he's got that in the bank. That's safe. That's in the bank. Norton says, "What was that 80s show when some kids go to sing and dance?" Jim will fix it. Oh no.
What was that 80s show where some kids go to sing and dance? I, I don't know. That's quite a number of shows there. Okay. Well, the Amazons with 3 rerolls as well, I mean, will feel pretty confident in the overtime period and a
That
numbers
that that
superiority.
that does very very much cheer Tiss up, no doubt. The fact also that he's not hammering through the rerolls and picking up the ball or dodging or blocking, it's nice to be sat on those with 4 turns to go.
This is so tough for Andy right now. I mean, he needs to stop this, but how? I mean, there's just no easy answer.
He's light on numbers is the problem. I suspect. All right, simple Zunk stratagem. I think he'd perform a column defense and just try and stand off and be in the way.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. Is just put the column defense up and hope for the best. Let the Amazon team trip up, but at this point, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, he's got to keep making these dodges to form the defense, and eventually, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's got to eat that just to save the reroll for something more vital.
Yep, so he's virtually playing without the reroll because he won't use it until a real emergency moment. But
well, from Tiss's point of view, would you fancy blitzing the witch out of the way and trying to run past her, or do you go back into the center and just base up and go right? Let's go again. Go all bully girl tactic.
no, I think you just go to the left side as the Amazon team is doing at the moment. Just go to the left side, hit the weak point, and get the score in, and assure the score really, and just get into the overtime period. Because if you go witch hunting,
Oh, very good.
oh very good, then you may end up out of position, and you've only got 4 turns to go score it. So just go in there, get the assured positioning, and get the touchdown by the end. And that's my play right there. Boy, this is so tough here, and there's just no way the Dark Elf can cover the whole pitch either. So I mean, Amazon should be able to score it by the end. With, I mean, I don't even think Nuffle has anything to do with this, to be honest, because Dark Elves are going to disengage every moment. They don't want to get into a batch fight because they can't afford to lose any players. So at this point, no blocks need to be done for the Amazon team, and they just play solid, just run it up the pitch, and that's it.
Not a huge amount of forward movement though. So
That's the disadvantage of Amazons right there, right? 6 movement allowance, right? And that is kind of the thing there, right? Almost all of them, I think all of them actually have 6 movement allowance.
just in a bit of squares counting.
Satterfield, nice to see you. Ah, grandparents' 65th anniversary, nice.
Well, to avoid go for it, the Amazon's ball this turn, or sorry, next turn needs to be 4 paces forward from where she currently is. So as long as he can do that, Tiss is looking quite good.
Yeah. And at this point, if I was Andy, I would be really thinking about perhaps I should get aggressive here and maybe just blitz a corner and just force out a dodge, at least from the ball carriers, to just make the Amazons do some rolls at some point, because if they're able to just continue to move without needing to do any necessary blocks or GFIs or whatever, then they're just going to walk in for the touchdown by the end. at this point, Dark Elves really just can't play passively. But of course, that would mean a few extra rolls here and there, and continuing to base the Amazon teams in which they've been getting outbashed.
They have, and rather tragically, my big pre-match hype about Andy will be knocking himself out to try and engineer surfing has not come to light. TYS has managed to completely sidestep that problem.
There was a moment in which they had a chance, but opting for ball security.
Oh, that would have been a greedy one.
That would have been a greedy. That was a that would have been quite greedy.
So, what's on the cards for Andy here?
Looks like he's not going to go for the corner play as I suggested. He's just going to get these hits in. Really wanted to beat down the line woman, but unfortunately wrestle.
Well, true. However, the fact that Witch has got jump up means that the disadvantage positionally of her starting her next turn on the floor is not quite as terrible. I'm guessing Andy's just trying to get as many of the elves as possible south of the Amazon's aggression here, and then
just to free up all those elves.
Some sort of screen.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. He wanted to get the line woman there to free up the other elves to not make crazy dodges for this column defense that's about to come up once again.
Be mindful of as to wherever TYS forms the cage. He's got to be really making several paces forwards from where he currently is, otherwise we're in the world of GFIs. Which, isn't obviously the end of the world, bunch of 2+.
This is, and right here, all of these are basically going to be just coaching decisions. Really, at this point, it's just no telling what Andy's going to have up his sleeves at this point. It's just how should he proceed? There's no real clear direction.
What, you're saying that there's no one direction?
There's no clear one direction.
He'll be good.
Oh no, I've run myself into that one.
Oh, it was there to be had, mate. It was there to be had. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, and I like the last little bit of the line elf move there. Just gonna stay back a little bit extra. I mean, the blitz is gonna come out on the witch elf no matter which way you slice it. So let's just put my line elf back one. So I like that.
Yes. Yeah. So, AV7 invincible, or is that just hearsay?
Looks like.
Wow, Witch Elf, take that.
You went mighty blow and all. And of course, Andy's loving that. Boy, he's got to be thinking, oh boy, here's the blitz on the Witch Elf. And it's coming too, and he knew it too. And he was thinking, oh, I want to protect this Witch Elf, but then there's no protecting her. So it was just like, okay, just back up and make it to where I'm at the back position instead of the back right position. So I really like that play a lot from Andy there. And of course the Witch Elf is no worse for wear, so hey, this is working out quite swimmingly. People are saying foul the Witch Elf.
Do you think? Would you?
I don't think I'd foul that witch. Maybe. Because right now there is a surf danger. So maybe, but at the same time, it's all about trying to get this touchdown by the end, right? So you want to make sure that you get it, and of course the best way to do it is to have the 3 numbers advantage on your side.
Yeah, the Amazons working together here. One could say they are in sync.
Oh no. No, they're really turning up the heat. It's about to feel 98 degrees at this point.
Yeah, blink 182 and you could miss it, can you?
At this point, the Dark Elves really need to find an oasis.
They're really getting pulped out there.
So right there, what the Amazon's opting to do instead of maybe doing a foul, and I'm sure they're probably thinking about it, is at least maybe do a Witch Elf trap, so that there is going to be no jump up block and all that beautiful stuff here. So I think the guard right there kind of tells you that the Witch Elf is not going to be doing any type of maneuvers. And there you go. See the guard in the back left right there, or should I say behind the ball carrier. So no 2-die frenzies, if anything. But looks like nope, foul anyways.
Oh, now she's okay. Not even a stun. So the witch is still in play here. So does Andy surf Dr. Leach the line woman south of the ball? Is the witch going to jump up, a couple of dodges, and with help from Chair, are we going to go for a surf?
That would be a good one there, because that's actually a key piece that's hanging there at the back right there.
The difficulty is, of course, moving a one square, not super difficult, but getting the second push, you need to remove the assist from both the ball carrier and the guards on next to her. So it would probably be 2 dice uphill. Could we get 1 dice? Not easily.
Yeah.
So it'd be 2 dice into 2 uphill to get the surf.
I don't know if you want to do it at this stage.
He'll be considering it. He'll be considering it. It's not a nailed-on brilliant idea, but
it is a key piece, and you got to be thinking about it. But Andy has to think to himself, okay, what am I going to be like in overtime period if this goes badly wrong? And that is an armor 7 piece. So far, it's been hanging strong, but for how much longer?
Well, it's been hanging tough, mate. Really.
It's been hanging tough, quite good, but eventually, statistics say it's going to break.
Are the numbers of Zons, the fact that they're in excess of the Dark Elves, going to prove decisive, do you think? Or will it go into overtime? Or will we be burning the midnight oil? Who can tell?
I believe this is going to go into overtime. I mean, I kind of don't see it going any other way.
Fly, but, believe what you want.
I kind of don't see it going any other way.
What, your own way? It's getting out of hand. Mark start throwing things. Sorry, Big Mac.
Uh-oh. Like the machine. He's like, I'm lurking. But no longer.
So, Andy probably wisely ignoring our enthusiasm for surfing in Amazon there, and instead going for position, which is probably
right. Yeah, a lot more prudent. The surf was there, and if you wanted to try for a doomsday dodge, but yeah, definitely keeping the Witch Elf there. And pulling her back there is just a lot better. And here comes the 2+ dodges.
I think one definite factor, we'll get this from Andy after the game, is thus far, injuring Zons hasn't really happened.
No, it hasn't. But again, it's really because the lack of the engagement of the Dark Elves, and just one of those things where the Amazons, when they did get the punch in, they got the armor breaks. But really, it's just Dark Elves are going to be able to put up a nice little defense, a nice looking defense here. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Amazons doing their very best to keep the other elves away from where the ball's at. 2 more turns left to play, and Amazons really need to push at this point.
Well, you could move, maybe blitz the witch. I'd say trying to move the guard blodge blitzer just south of the ball with a block, and then blitz the witch, and then try and go through the gap is the Zon's best route, but no, already a meeting group.
Oh, nice.
And Chester Wallet going back into the jacket there.
Going
And
for
he's
that
off the pitch.
hit. Nice big KO. And again, the Mighty Blow didn't even need to activate, so Amazons are just getting the rolls here. And a huge hold now to waltz on through.
Yeah,
These
this
Amazons
is looking
are
good, isn't it?
absolutely showing a lot of spunk right now.
Gosh. Childish.
And you know, if anything, that's how we like the Amazon women, right? With the ball and loads of spunk.
Barsaunders. Yes, they've managed to wriggle through that tight hole there, haven't they? It's looking tough. What's he gonna do now? Can he pull something out the bag? And Distorter's just resubbed 7 months on the bounce. Thanks for the show support, mate.
Indeed. Come on, Andy. We got.
Oh no, not that again.
I've just been distracted by the female walking by in the subscription. My goodness, where does he find all this?
Some people might send it to him.
Some people. Cough, cough, Zunk.
Not all mine. Fatten suggests it's time for a nice handoff. I think that's inappropriate, Fatten, but you could be right.
People are asking if the image at the bottom left is one of them is definitely Zunk and the other one maybe VGP.
That's Mrs. Kelly Brook.
If I look like Kelly Brook, then I've got more issues to worry about.
If you look like Kelly Brook, I'd be a lot nicer to you than I currently am.
I can imagine that. I'd be a lot nicer to myself. Hey, how you doing?
Well, thank you, Rex. Kelly Zentbrook, she's called. She took the hyphenated route.
Right there in scoring position, so Andy either needs to just hop on through for some crazy dodges.
What, you're suggesting he breaks on through to the other side?
Make sure that he punches it up the gut on the Amazons.
Well, I mean, a witch mad cave dive? Is it too soon for that, or is desperate times call for desperate measures? What do we think?
The tough part here is that there's 2 KOs on the sideline and an injury, so you have to be worried about the chances here, because even if you do go into overtime period, if you get on defense, you're going to be looking at the same type of grind once again, and you're still going to be down a couple of Dark Elves. So it's not going to be an easy defense whatsoever, and do you want to get into this type of position where it's just continues to go downhill slowly to the point where you lose? And nobody really wants to be at that position.
Oh, hold the bus. Something's going on. Percy off the pitch there.
Oh, that's going to be great. So hopefully the Amazons will be able to return the favor and not have one of the girls come back.
But what's he going to do now?
Yeah, and definitely he thought about not going in there, but I think the blitzer with the blodge, that's the one you want to do with. But the thing about it is that you don't want to end up giving a push combination here for the Amazons to get away so easily. And Andy at this point is just hoping to at least make the Amazons do a 3+ dodge with dodge. At least.
Or roll. I mean, currently where Little Flower stood, Prince Ludwig with the ball. Princess Ludwig? She's a GFI away from the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, Andy at this point is just thinking, okay, how can I make the Amazons do any type of 3+ roll, whether it be a catch, whether it be a dodge. What can I do to at least make him roll at least one more time here? You just don't want to let that Amazon walk it in with the GFI.
No, exactly. So we need a second elf on the ball. You thinking?
I mean, that's definitely going to be the case.
Ah, shit. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
Oh
shit.
boy. There it is. And so that's just going to be a little bit too bad there. Gonna let that one go too. Yeah, this is not the critical moment. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to get another elf on there for the 3+2+." Now it's just gonna be a 2+, and only Nuffle can stop this touchdown.
Yeah. 2+, and then, which is what he'll do next. I wouldn't risk anything else at this stage. Is he going to throw blocks? He is.
I believe the reason why Andy wanted to do that was to get that line woman out the way so that the blodge guard can jump into the left side of that cage.
Well done, Tish. I think the story of that was the Dark Elves saw the opportunity to seal the game at 2-0 and then got a little bit unlucky
nice.
with those 2 removals.
Dark Elves are going to get their 2 KOs back. So that's going to be great. It is still one more turn for the Amazon woman to get her KO roll again, but that definitely has got to be feeling good for Andy.
Well, yep, Necton's nailed it, 10v10.
So if the KO'd Amazon woman doesn't come back, it'll be 10-on-10. I mean, doesn't come back. Did I say come back? But yeah, that'll be really nice. And then at that point, it'll be a little bit more even, except that the Amazon team will still have 3 rerolls.
Well, Andy definitely setting up for a 1-turn touchdown here, which are never easy, but he's going to give it a go. Come on, Sunshine. Come on, Tim.
Gonna give the 1-turn touchdown a go. Where's the pockets? So the 7 movement allowance 1-turner needs to be the frenzy needs to activate somewhere.
And then something needs to happen, and then smells need to be pushed.
Yeah, so the Witch Elf needs to be in such a position to where the frenzy is going to activate, and that's kind of why the Witch Elf is on the left side. But where's the pocket to drop it in? So at this point, I don't know about this. Oh, hey, that'll help.
Do you remember? Do you remember the last?
The last time we see
the last major game that we commentated on, and we said, "Oh, Enarian's up against it here. From to get the win here, this is going to have to happen, and then that's going to have to happen, and the chances of that are surely remote."
Oh boy, only.
And then what happened?
Only the 9 on the kickoff event could have saved the Narian. Well, and the riot, but I mean. Wow.
And the multiple block from the tree.
And yeah, and well, he didn't necessarily need the multiple block, but it surely helped. I mean, I was making fun of multiple block for the entire tournament, and then it comes out no problem. I'm gonna hit this guy and this guy, free up the guys. And
BGB, don't sweat it. Welcome to my world.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh boy. Andy, breathe, man. Breathe.
Oh,
don't hold your breath.
No usage here. I'm gonna just go ahead with And he's
No!
surely not going to use the reroll here for the. Surely
Well,
can't use it here.
it's
Oh no,
done.
he's gonna
if he
do
does.
it. Oh, he wants it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he wants to win it here. He's tired of playing this match. Wow, that says so much. And it's absolutely there. The Amazon team lined up in such a way that it's gonna be not too difficult. So he needs 2 more pushes here. Oh, I love this.
The tensions are variable.
Andy going for the 1-turner after sacrificing the reroll. He better know what he's doing at this point, otherwise he won't hear the end of it, especially from all of the streamers and broadcasters of the World Cup. Yeah, Andy wants to show the other Amazon team what big balls look like, and this is it.
This is putting down a marker, isn't it? He's going for the 1-turner like after a heavy drinking session.
I don't think I would have. I mean, I 100% would not have done it myself. I would have went into overtime and played 10 on 11 or 10 on 10 at this point. But he needs to be careful, and he needs to just get pushes, mind you. So I mean, Nuffle can't screw him on the dice here. I mean, 1 more push here, and he's in range, but that still doesn't guarantee anything because he needs 3+3+2+ dodge by the end.
Andy's got to pick the ball up and make a short
So,
pass.
and he needs to do 3+3+2+
a whole bunch of
dodge.
3s and 2s, isn't there?
Oh man, this is it, and it doesn't matter if it knocks him down now. But I think he wants to get 1 more push off, if anything. Yes, there we go. He wants to get 1 more push in, if anything. Because you don't want to do GFIs either. So 3+2+2+2+ instead of an extra 2+ at the end of that.
Yep.
But
Yeah, here's another one.
now 1 more push away from, and now it doesn't matter if he knocks him down here, but maybe 1 more push, and that's kind of why he's pushing her towards the center. But I don't think there's enough Dark Elves, to be honest. Oh no! Oh no! And that's what I'm talking about. You put so much right there. Oh no. Oh no. Gonna just.
Oh my god. Oh god.
No.
Oh god.
Oh well, he got it anyways. I love it.
We're back on.
He was back on.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
AndyDavo finds the combination. Now again, he still needs to do the 3+2+ throw. Looks like from here, 3+2+ throw, and then. Oh, this is still not gonna be easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yes, this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 3+ from there. 3+2+ from there.
Believe it'll be fine. Come on.
Without the reroll, I mean this is so. And he's thinking about it here, and I already eyeballed it. It's already a 3+. He needs to at least get 1 GFI for a 2+2+. I think and he's looking it over right there, but I don't. I'm thinking.
Calculator's just caught fire.
Yeah, right there's the GFI. Yeah, there we go. So there's the 2+2+. For the 2+ catch, please don't top it. Oh, he doesn't. The 3+3+2+2+2+.
And Crumpet Lord's holding the ball. Oh no, he's waving at the crowd. Don't do that, focus, lad.
Oh, he's gonna do it there on the 2+. Oh my gosh, he went the wrong way. He should have went on the right side. That was not the right move, but he got the 2, the 4+, but he misses the 3+, 2+ GFI. Oh man. Oh boy. He went the wrong way. He should have went around the right side there, but still got the 4+ dodge. No, anyways, but got the 3+ dodge, but failed the 2+ GFI. Or did he not get the? Do you do the GFI first?
I don't know.
Oh man, he almost got it. Wow.
Did it matter which route he took through there? Surely it was 6 and 2 3s, wasn't it? What have I
If
missed?
he went around the far
What?
right side, it would have been a 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus. But he went through the middle, which was a 4 plus dodge instead of a 3 plus dodge. But in the end, it didn't matter because he rolled a 6 on
Right,
the
right, right,
4
right, right.
plus.
So he should have gone there. I think he was probably feeling a little pressure there.
Wow, that right there. I don't think I would have. I mean, yeah, I for sure wouldn't have done it there. And now the kickoff roll, and of course Amazons. Why not, right? They're gonna get the ball, and they KO'd personnel back. So it's 11 on 10 at this point. So
I think the
Amazons.
fact they've got the ball and they've got the first round of hits.
Amazon gets the ball, ladies and gentlemen, with 11 girls on the pitch against 10 Dark Elves. This is the slight advantage for the Amazon team with 3 rerolls in hand and Dark Elves, no more rerolls. This is going to be...
It's 60-40 in favour of the Zons right now. I can't dress it up any other way. Much as
Yeah,
I'd love to. 60-40 in favour of Tiss right now.
I almost feel
But
like...
But if anybody can yank the pancake here, it's Andy. I believe if anybody can pull this one round.
No, no, Arctic wins. The 4 plus was not re-rolled. He rolled a 6 on that. So he had the dodges. He just did not have the GFI at the end.
Just ran out of puff.
So the 4 plus was a 6, and then he actually got the GFI on one of them, had to re-roll the 3 plus dodge, got the 3 plus dodge, and then the second GFI for the touchdown, he failed it. Oh boy.
I believe too.
Yeah, so he got yeah, he failed he got the first GFI and then dodged away. And then he got the GFI, he missed the GFI, and then he would have had to do one more 2 plus dodge without the dodge at the end. So yeah.
Given what the dice results were, academic. But yes, I'll take your point.
He darn near got it. The worst part of the rolls were over. It was the easier parts. Ouch. Oh boy. Shoot, I darn near put a load in my pants there. Frankfurter.
Right, mighty blowhead out the way, because the last thing we need at this stage is to lose another elf. With all the elves here, you might be able to do something. Maybe, just maybe.
Wow. That's called a man that really believes in the capabilities of his Dark Elves and what he can do with his rolls. But, man, I mean, like, you had to continue to get... It failed the first blitz. I mean, it's not like I'm re-rolling something in the beginning. He re-rolled the onset blitz. And it's just like... You need to continue to get really good rolls after that without knocking down the Amazon player and then getting all the rolls at the end. I mean, wow.
I'm still trouble breathing after that. I mean, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, they'd have burned you at the stake for that kind of witchcraft.
Absolutely.
What wizardry is this?
My gosh, that's...
I'll tell you what, I've about dropped the ball. Oh.
He hasn't dropped one yet.
Purest optimism. Well, he hasn't, but I mean, you know, he probably wouldn't. This is a 3 plus pickup, plenty of rerolls in the bag, so, you know, this is just me being a purest optimism. Now, this is lining up for, it looks like Lolithur's going to get trod on. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Lolithur, we've practiced this. Passive removal, come on, son.
Continuing with the fouls, and, oh, gonna get the KO. Oh, that is just... That right there is just so bad because the Amazons are not going to let up now. They're going to continue doing the fouls. And right there, the Amazon was like, TYS, he was just like, you know what? I have one Amazon advantage, and this is what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to foul the Dark Elves. Man, that's next level right there, guys.
High risk, high reward, and it paid off. Yeah, low thralls. Right, and Andy does not want this to go to penalties.
And
I mean, look, the way he played the previous turn, he didn't want this to go to extra time.
that's got to be a little deflating here for Andy. And as you can see here, he's kind of playing a bit faster here, so that because he just can't believe what's going on here.
He's in the zone. He's entered the matrix. It'll be fine.
He's entered the matrix, hey.
Matrix was very upset about it, but yes, got a few drinks, one thing led to another. So
Well, he's thinking about making this maneuver around the back. And yeah, he's gonna do it just to punish the Amazons for not caging up. But this will force the Amazon team to cage up, and that will use up 4 of the girls for caging. But being up 2 players on the pitch, I mean that may not be too bad.
I do like Vauxhall's Fear and Chester Wallet doing their best speed bump impressions by just lying down, being in the way.
Nice to see the Amazons, right? I mean, they're not in any particular hurry. They could just kind of hold the ball, and so they're going to force the Dark Elves to do uncomfortable rolls, uncomfortable maneuvers just to get to the ball, because they have 3 re-rolls. If they goes into penalty overtime kicks, then they'll have the huge advantage going in, and they should be able to win it. So no big hurry. I mean, this is definitely becoming 80-20 at this point. I mean, Amazons should be able to win it, barring Nuffle. So Andy at this point has to play aggressive here. He cannot play a passive game at this point.
VGP, you're failing to believe hard enough, mate. Just believe.
Believe! I believe that Andy has a very tough time winning this match now. And this is kind of what I was saying too, is that the Amazons, they're so good out the gate. I'm a bit surprised to see why didn't we see more Amazons being picked here. Everybody harping on the humans, but I mean, they can definitely do just as well, if not better.
Yeah, this is exactly as you predicted. Tiss is taking his sweet time about going down the pitch.
There's no
Doesn't
hurry.
need to rush, does he?
He could just cage up hard and wait for the Dark Elves to play aggressive, or, you know, use the 2 numbers advantage and move the ball steadily down the pitch, as he should. I mean, I don't think you want to ever put it to penalty kicks, even if you have 3 rerolls in hand. But it's just, my goodness, just like the Dark Elves had a chance to win it in the second half. The Amazons has so many options here to win the game here at this point. Of course, if you guys don't know what happens in overtime penalty kickoff, what happens is the amount of rerolls that you have adds to each of your rolls -1. So on the d6, so plus whatever rerolls -1, and then you go from there, and all of it's calculated beforehand, and all the animation is moot at that point. So if any of you have seen overtime penalty yourself personally, and the big reroll sign is blinking for you to touch it and click on it, it doesn't matter if you click on it or not, because it's just for show. I don't know why it pops up, and that was given directly from the developer. I asked myself.
Sorry, what pops up? I zoned out for a second there. Cat's doing something weird.
No worries. Just explain the overtime penalty kicks, just in case. Make it more known, because a lot of people kind of wonder what happens in the overtime penalty kickoff.
It's a D6 roll plus rerolls, isn't it?
Yeah, but then some people were asking, well, why is it when I'm in the overtime penalty kickoff, then I can click the reroll button, because it's flashing in your face like, click me, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, hey up. Now, the Dark Elves are up to something.
Are
What's
they?
this? They're doing something.
Yeah, and I think now's the time to literally strike, is to try to take down some of these pesky Amazons. He's gonna have to start engaging here and just hope armor 8 doesn't break. And the first thing that Andy does is try to remove the mighty blow blitzer.
Oh, crumpet.
Oh boy.
No.
Gonna get a little bit 1 and 9 there, but just a stun.
It's looking tough, isn't it? It's just not falling at the moment. He's still in it. He's still in it. He's still in it.
He's still in it.
Believe.
He has engaged the Amazon front part of the cage. It can easily be circumvented, but it will force the Amazons into making rolls. And I kind of like that.
Just because the women have got to make the sandwiches. I think that's a bit misogynistic.
What are they doing on the pitch in the first place, right? I mean, we need some we need some sandwiches here.
Wait, go, get the kettle.
Yeah, it's looking quite grim now.
Oh,
Pedro,
what
what should Andy do?
should say after yesterday, be a good girl, put the shower on. You had to be there.
Looks like the left side's gonna be moved there.
Yeah, a way through is becoming apparent, isn't it? And the Zons can just trundle forwards at a leisurely pace right now.
Yeah, no particular hurry, and look how easily he just kind of makes it around the left side. It's like, oh, look at those Dark Elves right there. Aren't they kind of cute?
Who's James Gunn again? Mike the Machine's so stressed he's hugging a rolled over yoga mat. You cling onto that mat, Mike. You cling onto the mat. Dear life.
Oh, remember what they did to James Gunn, huh?
Who's James?
There you go. There's one of the rerolls being spent there. Can't afford to give the opening. But Dark Elves have someone in range here to actually get a block off on the front line, and that looks to be a 1-die block right there. So there may be a chance here for the Dark Elves to break through.
Yeah, it's opportunity, but it's some ugly dice to make it work.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. Like 1-die block, right? And then the Witch Elf, right, jumps in there with the 4+ with dodge. This is not too bad. Oh, he's gonna cover it up there, so gonna cover the Witch Elf jump up blitz.
Don't worry, Baxter. We'll get him in after the match.
Now the interesting thing is that you don't necessarily need to use the Witch Elf for the blitz, so you can just do the stand-up block on the wrestle line woman there, and then.
Well, it's a frenzy as well, and it is 2 dice uphill because of the guard on to the northwest of her, is it?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's not going to be easy. Already touched up. Yeah, it's going to be a 2 red die block at the end.
I think he might start by moving possibly Queenie, the Mighty Blow Blitzer, out of the way. He does have 2 dice on her from the south.
Yeah, a whole bunch of we believe. We need take my energy. We need the energy guy. You guys know what I'm talking about.
You can almost hear the clogs whirring in his head from here, can't you? What's he gonna do?
What is going to be done here? This is it. Okay, so it's gonna be the 2 die. Oh great, defender down die. Oh, and an armor break finally with the injury. Doesn't matter if you APO this or not. You gotta save the APO. Actually, yeah, it does matter. You want to save the APO for the KO. Two die, more defender downs. Oh, I love that. More breaks. Oh, where was this the entire game for Andy?
Could this be an unforeseen turning point?
Amazons are 2 rolls away, so Andy doesn't need to quite commit at this point at trying to blitz the ball carrier. So opts to instead make the blitz and gets a bit paid off.
I'm still not altogether seeing what he's trying to do here.
I think he's just gonna put pressure all the way around the cage and make it extraordinarily uncomfortable to deal with. And this is a 2 die block. Luckily he did a 2 die because that first dice was no good. Just gonna be a push, and that's too bad. Got a whole bunch of pows earlier. Would have loved to get a pow there. But here's another 2 die. I really like this play here. It's just keeping it strong and solid. And the line off at the bottom likely to come around the left side just to make his presence known.
He's got to, otherwise the Zons just head southeast as Andy looks at them and scream.
Or perhaps just do a 2 die block. I like that as well. Because anyways, putting the line out for the left side would have been... I mean, it just would have got bowled over by the Amazon stampede. Right. So the Amazon should be able to continue to move it. But it's going to do some blocks now.
I think Zord's right. It's a sideline cage coming up from the Zons here. That's the play.
Oh, here it comes. The energy givers. Nobody wants to see the hottest man in Blood Bowl go out so early. But this is looking like it right here. And at this point, we are likely going to see the Dark Elves do something a little bit crazy. Non-based cage. Amazons opting, AndyDavo opting to not do the blitz when the cage was based up. Will it come back to haunt him? He did get a couple of nice injuries out though, but ball is about to be scored without a GFI even.
I'm thinking Andy's going to cave dive with the witch. That's about all there is to it. But the really nice thing that Tiss has done here is the positioning of Baldrick, the blitzer with the guard, on that northwest corner. makes anything that Andy does, he's got to run round, probably south side, so he's not blitzing from there, and then he's got to remove the standard non-guard players' assists anyway.
Yep, so here we go. Hopefully no big nufflings, because any misdodge, any miss dice rolls, 2-die blocks anywhere, it's GG. Any 1 in 36s, anything. This is not.
Hey Morgan, I'm joined today by VGP. Where have you been, dude? VGP's famous, man. I'm walking.
Indeed, it is the VG purists. I've been covering Blood Bowl for quite some time. Unfortunately, not as well known, but that's okay, guys. It's okay. It's for the love of Blood Bowl.
So, going for pressure rather than an all-out mad blitz on the ball.
Boy, this is. Okay, good. Good thing you did the dodge from that man there.
No, he needs another elf round the back.
Yeah, he needs another one.
Bob,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Because otherwise Bob will just sort that problem out for him. So you need Bob tagged, as it were. Bob's a very naughty girl. She deserves tagged. No.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy. And
Harsh.
that should be it. The blitz can come over the top on the Dark Elf Blitzer and have a push combo. And there it is right there. So the over the top actually didn't do that, so I guess that's okay. Here comes another 2-die block. I mean, if it goes horribly awry, then then would have loved to have at least just done one blitz for the push combo to get him out of there.
Come on.
This is gonna be tough. There's actually gonna be a maybe a blitz away. No, a 1-die blitz away. No. This is actually not too hard. Amazons might have to dodge out at the end here. Yeah, there's just no real easy way to slice this one. Maybe the 1-die. Yeah, gonna do the 1-die blitz. Both down. Gonna re-roll it. Oh, doesn't get it. Oh, gonna get nuffled. The 1 and
Hello.
the
Hello?
1 and the 9. Oh, and are you saying there's a chance, Zunk?
Dare we believe? We never stop believing. Come on, do it.
Oh man, and Andy has to be careful here. He needs to proceed with surgical hands. Need to get a blitz on the ball carrier. Or if not, if anything, at least a block, right? Ooh, gonna dodge away to start off with. Okay, that guarantees at least the 2-die.
It leaves the witch free. Both the witches are now not moved. He could have used the witch to make that first one 2 dice, but he's going to go just straight 2 dice now.
Yeah,
Come on.
straight for the 2-die block.
Yes,
it. The ball comes out. The scatter. Oh, that's good for the Amazons right there. That could have been worse for the Amazons, but that's pretty good. But the blitz hasn't been used by the Dark Elves, so we may see the blitz come over the bottom here, so that it blitzes the guard Amazon woman. But then, of course, the danger is: do you want to leave the guard blitzer right there?
Bottom. Oh Lord! Oh God! Unbelievable, Jeff.
So the blitz could come on the guard blitzer there, or the guard line woman.
Stop it!
And then, what's going
The
on?
tension's bad enough without these two
I'm trying to do the analysis here, guys, and you're jeffing it.
Okay, well, the choices.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, the Blodge blitzers at the bottom. So you're thinking to yourself, boy, do I want to pick up with him instead?
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Fuck biscuit, really?
Oh no! 1 and 9 happens on Andy's, and unfortunately did not blitz with the Wrestle Witch Elf.
Well, he blitzed to that one to get two dice into
And
two
that's
dice.
actually the second time in which he did the Witch Elf block first in order to do something else and got nuffled. Wow. And now the pickup. But the thing about it is the Amazons, do they have an easy shot at getting this touchdown by the end here? So I think maybe not, but there is the defender down right there. Or defender stumbles. Wanted to get the removal, but instead the KO will take that even better. So the ball's gonna get picked up, but I don't think the Amazon's gonna go for the score yet.
Or is it just gonna get dropped on the floor? Those quivering little fingers,
Well,
breaks a nail,
so far,
gets distracted. Ooh. Come on, believe.
so far the pickups have been going quite good. I don't know if
So
Oh,
would you
that's
had
the
dropped one, right?
at this point you would think. Yeah, would have been surfed out of there. And that's why Andy didn't choose to activate the dodge, but unfortunately the KO. Oh my gosh, got the 1 and 9 himself. So Amazon's feeling a little bit deflated. Was like, oh no, I just let Andy back in, but then Tiz recovers due to the Witch Elf's 1 and 9, and now will there be a pickup failed? No.
Oh no, she's got it.
And gonna hand off instead. Oh, and that's it.
Oh,
GG. Oh my gosh. Andy will not be advancing on. Wow. Just like that. Just
well, that
like
was
that.
was tight. Well done, Tiz.
Well done. Well played from the Amazon team, where like they had a momentary scare in the second half, but Nuffle with the Witch Elf again, 1 and 9. Too much at the end, and had his shot at the ball, but opting to go for the block there, and Andy's gonna have quite a good deal to explain for himself. Wow. That was definitely a
Well,
good game.
that was a good game, not riddled with horrific mistakes and lots of invention, and both players playing well. That was tight. That was a worthy match. Disappointed, obviously disappointed for our boy not going through, but congratulations to Tiz.
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to him. Well played. He pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and he snuck through. So well done to him.
Hey, good effort, Sunshine. We're proud of you.
Yeah, that was a very well played game. I mean, just at the end we thought, oh, 1 and 9 on his side, and then 1 and 9 on Andy's side, and I cannot.
Yeah.
Oh boy, tough decisions there. What were
Oh,
your
well.
thoughts there by the end of the game? Tell us how you're feeling, what you were thinking.
I think. If I was summarising it, we had the double one to dodge through to pick up the ball, and I wrote it in the chat at the time. I thought you don't make that a double one. The blitzer goes and stands and picks the ball up. My other blitzer dodges out, and I've got a 3-point screen on the ball on a blodger, and it's walk it in, and it's 2-0.
We picked up on that, mate. We were thinking, wow, this could be done right now, and then that happens.
Yeah.
And then to compound matters, straight afterwards, I was like, please don't knock him over. Please don't knock him over. and he does. So it was a shame. Obviously, the trip wire on turn 16, that was heartbreaking. I was genuine. I just looked up and went, oh dear, I think I'm going out, because you don't get a better chance than that, do you?
Oh boy, I mean,
It was a hell of a game, mate. The audience, I think enjoyed it from the comments, and we were on the edge of our seats. Got to ask you one thing that wondering, when you went for the one-turn touchdown, why dodge through the middle rather than go down to a sideline?
That was a mistake. I think that was a genuine mistake. I wasn't really paying enough attention at that point. I was more thinking about click, 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 go for it. And you know, the first thing I saw was when the screen didn't have that like blue shimmer on it. I went, oh no, that's the dodge reroll minimum. And then we made the dodge, and then we make the dodge into the end zone. And I think, oh, maybe I've done it. And then there's no blue shimmer. I'm like, oh dear. Oh well.
The fact that the opening blitz from the witch.
Yeah, why do it? Why go for that? That's the tough. I mean, because that was at the beginning of the combination, right, for the one-turn touchdown, and it happened on the onset blitz. Now, I would have just let that one go, and then gone to the locker room. But you went for the one-turner. So tell us what goes into that.
Belief.
It was it was like, I know how to do it. The pushes, I'm fine. I know exactly how to do a movement 7 one-turn touchdown. You just need the first couple of pushes to go your way. And as you saw during the one-turn touchdown, one of the blocks was a knockdown. I went, doesn't matter, I've got another way of doing this. And so we switched to plan B. Granted, I still need a whole bunch more dice, but it was like, why did he try that 3+3+ to end the game? He did it because if you make it, you win. There's no second chances and no comebacks for your opponent. So I was like, I played to win at all points, and played and pushed and it just didn't happen for me. So, oh well. The thing to take away from this though is Tiss played really well. I think we both had a slight wobble here and there, but he played really well and he absolutely deserves to go through. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, he played extraordinarily well. I mean, just to stand up to the aggression coming out in the second half, of course, the blitz. It's almost one of those things where, oh boy, I got a blitz on kickoff, and it's almost obligatory to go play aggressive, and unfortunately use a few rerolls here and there because of it. But I mean, oh man, that was such a great game. Just gripping to the end. Gripping.
Good. Well, I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. Minefields, thank you very much for the sub. Massively appreciate that.
I almost forgot about that in the excitement. Hey, look, you bloody good go, mate. You didn't choke and bodge it. It was just one of them things. That was a very good game.
Yeah. Harry Zoid, yes, he did have dodge set to manual. I tested it. It was the very first thing I tested when I had to push not stumbles. I checked it on the line of scrimmage. I think one of the other things that stood out was, for me, it was the armor breaks didn't really happen for either side. His mighty blow was largely ineffective. I don't know what the chat thought of that. And I'm just looking at the end screen there. We caused 5 armor breaks in 24 turns. He didn't seem to fall over very often, and when he did, he was fine.
Yeah, that was
the breaks, I guess.
That was something that was a bit expected for me in the beginning of the game, because I knew that, you as a Dark Elf and him as an Amazon, he had a few more guard pieces, and so I really felt like you guys weren't going to be attacking each other until, there was some sort of aggression, there was some sort of reason to do it. And when there was going to be time where you guys were hitting each other, just no armor breaks on either side. And of course, he broke you a little bit more than you broke him, but yours pretty much all came at the last, I think, 2 turns, I feel like, because
yes,
it was, I think truthfully it was maybe 2 or 3 armor breaks all the way up until the last turn for you.
I think I got
on your defensive drive. You were 8v11 for a long time. You still made it hard work for him to get over that.
Yeah, absolutely. I pushed him, and he just came through, So, oh well.
Well, Andy, I'm going to be off to cover the World Cup because I'm so far behind. But wow, thank you for allowing me to be on your channel to broadcast your game and just to kind of put my name out there as well because I don't really get a chance to do so all the time. So thank you for that, guys, and always a pleasure, Zunk, being your co-caster.
Hey, VGP, thanks for joining us, mate. This was a big game, so having one of the top commentators in Blood
Oh
Bowl,
boy,
it was good bit of coverage there. I enjoyed that.
Good bit right there. Yeah, so unfortunately the hottest coach in Blood Bowl goes out, AndyDavo. Congratulations on making it this far at least though, but boy, I would have loved to see you in the future rounds.
Oh, me too. But yeah, congratulations to Tis. So yeah, what I am going to do now, if Zunk doesn't mind, is I'll run through the replay. It'll take maybe 20 minutes, half an hour or so, and I'll give you